You know what I'm thinking is like all our parents when we were younger used to say don't play D&D because it's satanic. And then there was one kid out there that said, "You know what? You know what? I'm going to go the distance." And then Warhammer 40K came out.
Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick introduction to this video. Normally on Tuesday nights we play our Descent into Avernus, our D&D campaign. We normally meet in person, other than Julian and John. But we had a real bad snowstorm come through Denver, and that kind of shut the city down for the most part. So we were forced to go remote for reasons that you'll find out in the next Descent into Avernus campaign. There's a couple of reasons why I wanted as many people in person as possible that I'm really excited about. So, with that in mind, Julian offered to run this Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory role playing game. Uh, some background. None of us know anything about the Warhammer history or lore or universe or anything like that, other than Julian. Michael knows a little bit as well. So we all kind of went into this blind. We had a quick crash course from Julian during kind of character creation, and this video kind of picks up as we're getting into the scenario that Julian has prepared for us. So, with that in mind, we're going to struggle with knowing what all of the terminology is and all of the slang and everything else. So we're going to stumble through it, but we have a good time anyways. Another note. My audio is super low. I've tried to fix it as much as possible, so when it's just me talking, like I've adjusted the volume a little bit, but it's still low, still hard to understand. Sometimes I kind of get lost in the audio, but I'm gonna try to fix that for the next session. I hope that you enjoy this episode. We'll be playing the whole scenario that Julian has planned for us. We'll probably switch back and forth. So the Warhammer 40K will be every other week for a little bit until we finish this scenario. But anyways, enjoy.
All right. Yeah, I think we have enough that we can jump in to the scenario. And it looks like we have enough time probably to get through the first section.
Yeah.
Do we want to go through and describe our characters, or is that
Sure.
going to go as part of the?
Yeah. Let's do that real quick because I actually have no idea what all you guys are playing. I've seen a bunch of
It's
sheets.
okay.
But
I don't know what I'm
I'm
playing
gonna
either.
send mine here in a minute.
I can go first since I'm the overachiever here. I'm the teacher's pet. I'm playing Mark 8.12. Mark stands for obviously machine readable cataloging, and so I'm from Catalog 8 Revision 12, and I'm playing a Skitarius from the Adeptus Mechanicus. I'm very lean build. I'm not like these hulked out creatures. Like I've got like it looks like a World War II like gas mask basically on, and with like these glowing eyes. And I've got these red I can't remember what they're called, blessed raiments. And on the bottom is the Adeptus Mechanicus like symbol. It's like a cog with a skull on the bottom. And I guess it also has my squad number, which I don't know what that is, but yeah, sure, it's squad number on there as well. And it's kind of got like this. My raiments are kind of like this, like this robe with like a hood. So I've got this like red hood that's covering the rest of my head, other than like my face mask. That's it.
sweet. Yeah.
Sick.
And I guess I'll go next because I got my stuff too. I am playing Zyvan Vanilith. He's if you've ever played Destiny, he looks a lot like Zavala, just this tall, bald guy with these huge pauldrons on his shoulder. He's wearing what is this? Rosarius or whatever it is, armor, which is pretty heavy.
Rosarius.
And, yeah, Rosarius, and he talks very bolstery, and he's always judging everybody because he's a ministerium priest and was led here for one reason or another.
How do you spell? Is it
Cool.
Ziven? And Vanwith,
Yep.
Vanwith. Is that
No, Lith.
Vanwith?
Vanlith.
Cool.
John, you want to go next?
Is anybody else ready?
I can go.
Okay.
I can go. So I'm just gonna go with the fucking generic name that it fucking gave me. I am Simselman.
Nice.
Of the Astra Militarium.
I'm not shaking my head at like your choice. I'm shaking my head because that's the most 40K name ever. To give it, like, a character. Read the books, you'll find a lot.
I am a Tempestus Scion. I'm just in fucking just jet black fucking armor head to toe, and I got a big ass fucking gun.
Nice, yeah. The Imperial Guard in some regions, their lifespan once deployed is like 15 hours. So to make it to like a Tempestus Scion, you know, you gotta be fucking good.
Yeah, I'm kind of a badass.
Michael, you ready?
Zim Famoch.
Sorry, can you repeat? We didn't hear the first part.
Oh, yeah, my name is Lemson Fomoch. You know that girl, you know, who's like really small and short, but is like way stronger than she should be? That's my character. I'm like this short, kind of gritty girl, playing a ganger, who just carries around this huge shock mace and is just like, you know, real tough and doesn't take well to authority, particularly.
Nice. Are you from Avarkus, or are you from another world?
I have no idea. Sure.
I'm from
Cool.
Avarkus. That's my Forge world, by the way. So
Nice. Yeah. You get to choose your Forge World keyword. Yeah, I guess we should go back. Jesse, is your character from Avarkus or from the Gilead system?
Sure.
Okay, there's a world, like a Ministorum world here. I'll find it. Kevin, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. God, it's hard coming up with a character when you know so little about the lore.
It's really hard.
All right, my character is Sister of Battle. Raised in the church, all she's ever known. Her past is irrelevant. Her name is irrelevant. Her life is irrelevant. All that matters is the work. Killing
Love it.
heretics.
I fucking
seeking
love
out
it.
chaos. The end.
You automatically are my favorite character now. That you win.
Yeah. Are you and Jesse maybe like? Did you guys get sent here by the Ministorum together or separately?
Yes. Common practice. You send a sister monk
we
with
both-
an inquisitor priest.
We both came straight from the God King of mankind.
It seems a little above us, no?
There is. Let me find that.
Directly above you. You answer directly to the God King.
Yep.
It seems
We're
a
from
little-
the Shrine World.
Yeah, there is a shrine world here. I'm pretty sure. While I look for that, John, you ready?
Yeah, I think so. So my character's name is Giselle de la Narche. I had to come up with that one. It means a chisel of anarchy.
Cool.
Sick.
So that
Can you
was
throw
kind
in
of
the
fun.
spelling in that in
Um,
Discord.
All this time that I've been trying to make up the character sheet, half of the time I spent was coming up with that name. I'm just kidding. No. That was the easiest. So I'm just gonna go through like some of the backgrounds on here because I'm not really sure how it works, but I'm just gonna pick 3 of these things that kind of
What
stand
archetype
out
are
to
you?
me. She's a what is that, chosen
yeah.
psyker or something? Sanctioned psyker? Yeah. And she first manifested powers as visions of potential fates, and she hoped that the schools I don't know, do people have parents in this world? Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like it. There are no
Yeah,
mothers
sure.
in Warhammer.
Nope.
Yeah, most
Everyone
kids,
is spawned directly from the god.
Yeah.
most kids happen like the natural way. There are rumors that in particular worlds that are really important to the Imperial Guard, there are some forced births, but for the most part, you know, it's just you meet somebody in the factory, you know, you guys get married, you have kids, they grow up to work in the factory and watch you die.
Yeah,
And
she
sometimes
was
they fight to the
one of the
death to become
special
fake
kids.
dreams.
So she was sent to a special school, like the school for gifted mutants or something. Um, the school didn't
Xavier School of Gifted
entirely
Youngsters.
help, so she still has these visions. Um, and accomplishments, she's got like proven practical, a mighty foe fell to my psychic powers, maybe like a schoolyard bully when she first discovered. Convincing your allies, which she didn't have any allies then. She's a freak. Of your usefulness and frightening potential. One of those is true. And her goal at this point, I think, would be vengeance. Through fickle fate, she can manipulate demonic force. It's not her desire, but she's pissed off and ready to kick ass and take names.
Cool. And then Kevin, I didn't get your archetype. Oh no, you did. You said Sister of Battle. That's right.
Yeah, Sister of Battle.
What was
Always playing a monk. So her name is Zeshua. Xexhua.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Jesse and Kevin, the world is called Enoch. It's a shrine world in Gilead.
Enoch.
Is that a place where upper middle class would send their freak children to advanced schools?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not quite. So you probably were picked up on the black ships, evaluated, and then sent to an Adeptus Telepathica, Astro Telepathica
Yeah.
school on a different world, and have been assigned here. Maybe, I don't know if there would be one in the Gilead system. If there is one, I'll tell you guys, or I'll tell you guys at some point. Yeah, and then one thing I do want to point out right before we start is that I've made it a very bleak life. There are small sections of the Imperium called like feudal worlds, where basically like, you know, you just get to like farm and like hang out, and like you know, every harvest season you like deliver your crops, and that's it. And it's a pretty comfy life.
The nice, simple life.
That's where
Just
I'm
go there.
headed,
Campaign over.
to farm with telekinetic powers.
There is no one there to convert to the God King.
We'll convert the vegetables
Cool.
and then eat
So-
them.
All our vegetables without the guidance of the God King.
There's plenty of farming machinery for me to speak with.
Yeah, you all have been drawn together onto a kill team in service to the Fabricator General of Arcus, Archdomina Vakul of Balaxia. She
It's definitely a name.
she has summoned you guys to one of the many recycling centers on dawn of Arcus. The planet basically is a barren wasteland, except for a single installation. But underneath its surface, just factories have been built, carving out all over. No one actually knows where every factory is, even the fabricator general. It's just a complete cavern. And near one of or near Balaxia, which is her home factory, you've come out to a recycling center there on her summons. Yeah, so maybe I don't know if you guys want to say anything as you guys are like approaching this recycling center. You see like conveyor belts dumping stuff into just like gnashing teeth as servo skulls, which are these like what they sound like skulls implanted with like servo arms and that kind of hover by themselves with peering eyes. Give it a wide berth as you guys have moved in. You know the constant flutter of them transmitting messages back and forth has gone away, and all you hear are the sounds of the recycling essentially. And it's not just mechanical matter that you see, but also organic matter. A limb here, a foot here, a torso there, are sorted out by machines and put into organic recycling facilities so that they can be made into organic paste to feed the what's left of the bionic citizens of this world.
Wow.
Love me some Soylent Green.
You know what I'm thinking is like all our parents when we were younger used to say don't play D&D because it's satanic. And then there was one kid out there that said, you know what? I'm going to go the distance. And then Warhammer 40K came out.
This was the game our parents warned us about.
You ever read the disclaimer?
This is going to be fun.
Like the D&D adventure we're playing.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning. It's straight hitting that point. It's just like the most demonic adventure ever.
Yeah.
Kevin, what was your character's name?
Like don't read this book backwards.
My character's name?
Yeah.
Kevin.
Zeshua. Xexhua.
Cool. Yeah, so as you guys make your way through this recycling center, deeper and deeper into the heart of it, you're pretty sure you're nearing where Fabricator General Vakul has asked you guys to be. And you see a servitor that isn't on a conveyor belt, but also isn't helping assist with sorting. It's just kind of sitting there. And as you walk past, it kind of flickers into glowing light. And you notice, especially the Mechanicus, that it doesn't have any type of traditional recording device. Typically, these things will have some kind of diagnostic arm, like writing out logs. That's actually been removed. And if any of you guys have any kind of like Vox implants or anything, they kind of buzz to static, and you have to silence them and use your natural ears as this thing comes to life. And a distorted voice issues from it, its lower jaw having been removed. And Fabricator General Vakul introduces herself. And you notice that she has kind of a weird accent, you would say. You all speak what's called Low Gothic. But she says, actually, I'm used to speaking the lingua technis, which the Mechanicus around you would recognize as like basically binary, just like a whirling dee doo dee dee dee. But she's speaking Low Gothic, and it's a little difficult to understand her. But she says, I have gathered you here because 3 days ago, one of my facilities was attacked. an item was stolen, and I need you to investigate and retrieve it.
What is this that you ask us to find?
A stasis coffin, and the Mechanicus around you, or the Mechanicus keyword having people of you know that stasis technology is highly revered, extremely dark age of technology. There are no stasis coffins being produced anymore today. A very valuable artifact.
What's its value?
It is of great technological importance, of course. Additionally, the coffin was not mine, but belonged to some very influential and unforgiving associates. And I need it returned discreetly before they know that I have lost it.
Gotcha. I was just gonna ask if it was
And
hers.
you guys, yeah, you guys would know that this is a fabricator general. If something scares her, if there's somebody who's unforgiving towards a fabricator general, they're extremely powerful.
It shall be done.
Is this your objective? To just complete a request with no questions?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, gain a point of wrath. All of you guys start with 2 points of wrath. Ethan now has 3, and then there was
being
1.
Being from this planet and Adeptus Mechanicus, would I have any idea who this might be that she, like, the fabricator general would be scared of?
Let us do a skill check. Let me find what the actual skills are in this system. Okay, roll a scholar test for me.
So I do 1 wrath die, 2 regular die. 3, a 3, and a 1, and the 1's not on the wrath die, so I fail.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're not sure. What you do know, though, just because you are from this planet, you are of the Mechanicus, is that she's the planet. She's basically the equivalent of the planetary governor. It's probably not someone on the planet who is the person that she owes the box to.
And who, like, what type of person uses a stasis coffin? Is it just like someone that's like, what is the purpose of a stasis coffin? Does it extend people's lives, or?
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as a member of the Mechanicus, you would know that a stasis coffin it basically preserves organic material, typically some kind of life form, pretty much indefinitely, as long as the stasis coffin remains operational.
The fabricator general, I'll say, is this stasis coffin currently occupied?
It is, but I don't know what is in it, and without having to roll any tests, you guys instantly know that this is a lie. Like you guys are savvy enough to know that exactly she at least has like some idea of what's in it.
So you do know what is in here. What can cause such little trust in those who carry the faith?
Well met, Ministorum. Praise the Omnissiah.
Yes,
I know
the
what
living
is in it.
God of all deities.
I do know what is in it. That is true. However, a paradox. I also don't know what is in it because upon receipt of the vessel, an agreement was made that I would have that information wiped, or not wiped, locked away from me. So I possess the information, but I cannot access it.
Schrodinger's coffin. Gotcha. We will retrieve this item for you,
Or MacGuffin's
Fabricator
coffin.
General.
Do you know who may have taken such a coffin?
Thank you, loyal Sikaris. Did you say where or who may have taken?
Who and where?
I have many enemies on Avarkus. And here she'll kind of tell you, specifically for you, Jesse, because Josh would probably already know this, but her ascension to Fabricator General made waves. Originally, another Fabricator General was on the planet, and he abdicated his role to go fight in a war, which is not supposed to be done. And in doing so, left a power vacuum, and that persisted for many decades. He left about 100 years ago, and recently, her manufactorium has gained enough influence to have her declared as the Fabricator General. But there are other manufactoriums who
Would have liked that job.
were not happy. Yeah, exactly. Or would have liked somebody else who was more favorable to them to be in place. So she puts forward that it could have been them.
Who is the reigning?
One thing. But also, Avarkus is afflicted with many tech gangs who are always seeking to steal technology and sell it for wealth.
Where would one sell such items?
Off-world, certainly off-world.
Do you know if this thing has been taken off-world? Do you have any clues that it may have been left?
The servitor kind of like sits silent for a moment, and then you hear her voice again, and she says, "I only know that the attack was recent at the location, so perhaps there are clues there, but I cannot investigate myself as I need this to be discreet."
I have a question. This is a little off subject, but do I feel like this is actually the Fabricator General, or do I think that this servitor is just providing her voice to us?
That's a good question.
Ooh,
Would I be able to even tell that?
Like, is that a common occurrence where the Fabricator General would be in a remote location and she's just using a servitor as like a remote audio device?
A conduit?
Give me a tech test.
I'll do tech tests all day long. That's a 7. 7. Oh no! Oh no!
Dice jail only
Yeah,
works
so
on
I've
D20s.
got 2 successes, but my wrath die is a 1.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, so the difficulty number was really low. I was just going to do it as a 1 because you any like paltry examination does confirm that the Fabricator General is using this servitor as a proxy, which never mind. But yeah, you do know that for sure. However, for the complication, like let's kind of do this like cooperatively. What do you think would be a good fun complication?
The radio shuts off for a moment.
Maybe I acknowledge that this servitor is just a conduit for her, and like maybe that's bad form to acknowledge that that's what's happening, and maybe it puts a bad taste in her mouth towards me or something like that. Maybe it's some kind of like social like thing to not mention that like maybe somebody else asks and I say, oh, that's not really her, that's audio.
I I would say that like at least in this particular sect, what's the word that I'm looking for? Incredulousness is like
okay.
encouraged. Like actually testing things and verifying them for yourself. What if you mess with it and it changes the voice that comes out? So now it's like incredibly
Okay,
high
yeah,
pitched.
that's-
And it's actually hard, even though you guys are like talking to this person that's like super important. It's hard for you to keep a
okay.
straight
Yeah,
face
maybe.
because the voice that comes out is
Yeah,
like a
maybe
mouse.
like what Jesse said, like the audio cuts out, and I'm like, oh, 1 second. I walk up and to adjust it, and it's like, wee. You know, I can get it to work, but only at high pitch. Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Stop, Mark. Slap his hand.
Is this your objective, Jesse?
No.
Okay.
Oh, chastise an individual for the lack of faith. Yes.
All right, sweet. Yeah, gain a wrath point.
Well, my
Why?
my objective is examine an interesting piece of technology, determining a flaw or potential improvement. But I broke it more. That's probably not my objective.
Yeah, I would say close,
I
but no
tried.
cigar.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, she asks if you are or she actually like praises you. Going curiosity is encouraged, guitarist.
Cool.
Yeah, and Josh, your character when it just like breaks out laughing, she kind of like the servitor like whirs and like stares at you like unblinking. And she's like, "What was it? Something I said?"
I seem to have made taken a misstep in adjusting your servitor, and your voice is unnaturally high pitched now. My apologies.
The lights kind of go off and on a few times, and then her voice returns, and she's like, "I have corrected your mistake. You pray penance to the Omnissiah tonight for your
I will
transgression."
do it twice over.
Yes, for your lack of faith.
Was
And
that just a power surge, or was that
She
like something,
rebooted
some
her
sort
system,
of?
basically. She hit reboot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for her?
Does she have like a location of where it was stolen from that we could go investigate?
Yeah, the location of a local
A lead.
tech gang.
Yeah, she tells you that the attack was on the a tech crypt and at the Balaxia Manufactorum. And this crypt, is where like sacred augments are kept after their like bearers have passed on. Sometimes even organic remains if they're necessary for the augment to continue to not degrade.
Cool.
Yeah, so kind of like a shrine to the augments of the heroes who have passed.
I know of this place. I will lead the party there and investigate.
Excellent. One final word of warning: beware unnecessary attention. Not only do I require discretion, but if my partners find you, you will certainly meet a grisly fate.
If the road is easy, the path is worthless.
Nice.
Good.
And she kind of goes, "Praise the Omnissiah," and then the servitor like backs up, and it backs up, and it backs into the recycling, one of the recycling chutes, and you just see it go into all the teeth and gears, and all of the blood from the organic parts of it shoot out as the servitor is destroyed. Yeah, exactly.
I bow.
I bow as well.
This is the kind of crap that caused my visions as a child.
So, just as a little meta, Julian, one of my other objectives was recant a holy litany applicable to the current situation, and I just looked up a bunch of crap, and one of those was the thing that I just said.
I looked
Okay,
up a bunch of
sweet.
crap.
I literally looked up just Warhammer fucking proverbs or some shit.
So, good role play, but I think it's just one objective per session.
Okay,
game-
no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just going
Keep
with all
going.
the things.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So Julian, so being from this planet, would I know of any like gangs that operate in that area of the tech crypt in the Balaxia Manufactorum that would be worth like visiting or that would be high, like a high value
Yeah. Give me a cunning test.
Surely from a
that's
tech
that's
gang. What I
that's
may
a 1.
Cunning.
That's a 1.
uh,
It's a 6 on my wrath die.
Hey!
My 1 wrath
Sweet.
die.
The difficulty is 3 though. So you will fail.
What can I what can I do with my wrath die? Can I do an extra success to make it a success?
You could spend a wrath out of your pool of wrath, yeah. And then you would have 3 successes.
Oh no, it'd be re-roll failed die would be using my wrath, so I wouldn't I only had 1 die to roll. But I get
gotcha.
I would get a glory for that 6 on my wrath die, right? So
let me find. I don't know where I put like my note sheet
let
that had
me see
this
if I can
info.
find it in the rule book. I thought that there's
Like as that servitor backs into the grinder, I turn to my 4 devotees and I say, "This is why you must watch where you're going. You may end up cycling like this poor fellow."
Okay, yeah. So glory, you have to shift it
Okay.
from a test, but you can only shift if you're in excess of your successes.
But
Yeah. So if you had like 2 successes, like if you had like 2 6s and a 5, right? You could shift one of those 6s and still meet that difficulty number of 3, and then you would
don't
get
I get a
glory
glory
off
because my wrath die is a 6 no matter what?
Let me see if there's anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I can find real quick.
I thought you could fail and still have a good thing if you roll
Any
a
player
6.
can shift an exalted and add 1 glory to the glory pool. Whenever you roll a wrath critical on a test, add 1 glory
point to the pool. So no matter what, it looks like we get a glory point to the pool, and then glory you can earn and spend as a group to overcome the terrifying obstacles of the 4th.
Glory be unto the God
represents the
King.
will to prevail. Let's see, how do I use glory? Spending glory.
Eventually, like you're gonna be around like an Inquisition person, and like all your like not quite right sayings are gonna make them question you.
So I can.
You're like glory to the God King, and they're like King.
So
Emperor,
I can with glory we can increase the dice pool. I can spend glory to add bonus die to any test. So I guess I couldn't use it for this test, right? So it'd have to be used for another test, probably.
It's a single pool of dice we all share as
so we'd
well.
have to agree.
You could use it without agreeing. That might have interesting effects.
So it says
You
it says,
dare
you
use
can only
our
do
glory.
this after the initial roll and any re-roll of failures using wrath. The bonus die you gain for this option.
I
can't be
use all the
re-rolled.
glory to
You can
mage
only
hand
use
bitch
this
slap
option
the Inquisitor.
It's okay. I failed. I was trying to figure out how the glory system worked. So
Yeah, I'm trying to look too because I'm
on
not
page
sure if
165 of the rule book is talking about spending glory, but it doesn't. Like I don't know if I can use it like right now. I just got it. I don't know if I can use it right now or we have to use it for a different test.
Give me just like a minute here to look through
30
this.
seconds, Julian. I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah.
You
So
don't?
if you roll a 6, you get a point of glory immediately, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you succeeded. If it's a successful attack and you had a 6, then it's also a critical hit, in addition to the 1 glory that you got.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys have 1 glory.
One glory.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I fail.
We've done
so
it.
you're
We
asking
won
about
Warhammer
gang.
40K.
I don't know gangs around there. Evidently, it's not my part of town or something.
Yeah, I mean, you just know, like, in general, what she said, which is that Avarkus is like lousy with these Archaeo like thieving gangs who are always looking to steal technology and sell it,
Cool.
or use it
Yeah.
if it's a weapon.
Julian, my background is in like the black market and tech gangs.
Right,
I give
you're
that a
scum.
Oh, yeah,
try.
Right.
Yeah, sure. So I think without making a test, you would definitely know that there is. Yeah, so actually, Michael, you don't know exactly where it would be, but you are sure that a place like a tech crypt would definitely have some gangers hanging around, always looking to maybe grab like a stray guitarist and strip their augments.
Oh snap! I don't have any augments, guys.
Definitely not.
I pull my raiments
Cool.
around me a little bit tighter.
So you guys do know where the crypt is that the
Cool.
attack was
Yeah,
on.
I guess that's our next step, unless anybody else has ideas.
We go there.
Sweet, successfully railroaded. Yeah, so some
Let me just
areas,
climb on these tracks.
some areas of the city are like, really wide open internal caverns, like where you just were. You can't even really see any natural rock, but it is very large and open. However, like occasionally you'll take a tunnel and it's closer to like what we would think like a submarine would be like. Like you have to squat down. You're not even sure how like an 8-foot tall space marine would make it through some of these tunnels. But Josh, because you're from there and she kind of gave you guys directions about where you should be heading, you get there with a minimal confusion. And you pass through a few chambers that are very large, and the whole time you're having to duck these servo skulls that are just constantly zooming around. But you make it there, and it's flanked by 2 gigantic factories, these production fortresses that cover it in not only production smoke, but sensor smoke from the holy rituals that are being performed so that the mechanics all continually work. And it's just a small kind of ziggurat-shaped building.
Cool. I'd like to pray to my augmented eye. So I'm gonna use my mind impulse unit to talk to my augmented eye, I guess. So I'd like to recite a prayer from the Mechanicus god. I'd like to say I'd like to cover my augmented eye and say, may I see the light even in the darkness of the void around me. And I don't know if it says that I might have to make a test. 245. Where is it? It says I can do tech int test for unruly spirits. If I succeed, I gain double rank bonus plus double rank bonus die to all tests to operate the machine. So I would gain a bonus to my eye for like investigating stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. I say go for it. Do a tech test.
So 7 again. Let's see. So 2 on my wrath die, so nothing there. 2, 3, 5. I have 4 icons.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you just meet the difficulty number, so you're able to successfully
Cool.
get that cast off.
Cool. So yeah, I feel like my eye is speaking back to me in agreement, and more power is diverted to my eye, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of cut through the smoke, and you can see that stationed outside the entrance to the tech crypt are a battle maniple of Skitarii Rangers.
Okay. Do I think that they're protecting the crypt then, or do I think they're up to no good?
Yeah, that's definitely what it looks like. Like they're there on guard. They're not like attacking it or anything.
What do we do, Mark?
Proceed. And I start to walk up to the Rangers, and I'll
Okay,
announce the party as we're walking up, and say that I want to be subtle about this though, huh? Ooh, what do we say, guys? I don't know. I don't want to say we come on behalf of Bakul.
I suddenly discovered I have more
To
psychic
investigate
abilities, so I'm
this
trying to
stolen
fill that
stuff.
out and listen to you too.
Awesome. Julian, so do you think that they probably wouldn't just allow us access in, correct, without?
You're not sure, so they're not from your unit of Skitarii, like you mentioned your unit number that's on your robes. However, you are also a Skitaris.
Yeah, and I guess we just approach, and I say that I announce myself and my unit number, and say that we are here on official business.
Yeah, so one of the Skitaris steps up, and you recognize from the markings on his robe that this is their alpha leader, and he's skeptical. He asks, or he says, the crypt is locked down. What official business are you here for?
To investigate the reason why it's locked down. Great. Any social skill I'm going to be absolute shit on, so why am I taking the lead on this?
I wonder if I should take social skill leads.
I have leadership.
I got massive leadership.
Yeah, they say security must be tight. This is where our sacred augments are stored.
It can't be that tight. You let a stasis coffin out of your grasp.
Oh no.
I start laughing. I start laughing, and I look at him, and I'm like, man, he's such a joker. He's such a joker.
All of the
Praise
Skitaris
whatever
in
that guy's name
the
is.
Maniple, the Omnissiah, all of the Skitaris in the Maniple stay still, except for the Alpha, who his eye, like his diaphragm eye, widens, and then he goes like this, and he's like, what stasis coffin? That is not a sacred augment.
Isn't it? I don't know what a stasis coffin is.
A stasis coffin would be a rare artifact able to preserve even the weakest of flesh, but It is not an augment. It would not be a fitting place for a crypt.
But this
Or
is
crypt
where
would not be a fitting place for it.
Um,
isn't that what isn't that what the Domino said? Was that it was taken from
but
here?
obviously, it wasn't supposed to be in there, and these guys don't know it was stolen. Is the problem? I'll say that. I'll say that the Ministorum priest speaks in error. A different task he's getting confused about.
What?
Shut your hole, Ministerium.
In lingua technis, he like beeps out to you like his flesh decays.
Yes, and I'll respond back and say way too much flesh, in my opinion, and I'll say we've been sent here on a task to check on an item in the crypt. We would like to be allowed access to make sure that it's remains secure.
Who has sent you?
Oh fuck.
Domino. Felt cool.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. He like he again thinks that like you're just like feeble-minded, and he goes like in lingua technis he's like, can you not silence it? Is there not a volume setting?
Not. He has not augmented his vocal.
Yes. Now let us by as I grab my hand and him out of the way.
Yeah. So at the minute that you touch him, he kind of like his body kind of recoils, as it's like a bunch of worms are actually under the robe, and they all kind of like push back, and the Skitaris all like move forward to encircle you guys.
And I'll be like,
I am sorry.
if you value the flesh on your bones, priest, you will hold.
If you value your life, the living deity will have your head.
Priest,
on his
priest,
chair.
if you enter into combat with these, I will not join.
Please,
How
God,
many
let
of
me
them
fill out
are
my
there?
spells.
There are 8 here at the entrance, and then also the alpha.
Oh yeah, we can take these guys.
Devotee, surround me.
Oh my God. We're going to die
never-
before I even get all my psychic abilities filled out.
And Julian, your campaign is derailed as per usual.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to fight, they'll
No,
happily oblige.
Is there anything I can do to
What?
de-escalate the issue here?
Ooh, I've got. There's like I can detect the warp. I don't know how this helps me at all. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can tell if these guys are psychically malleable.
Yeah, so I mean they are still human. They do still possess a soul.
Okay.
So they are still able to be touched by the warp.
Okay. Because I'm thinking there's a lot of threats being thrown at these guys right now by compadre over here. And I think I'd like to just put a little juice on it and throw a compel at their alpha and see if I can get him to shudder or flinch a little bit at his words.
Awesome. Yeah, I have no idea how the psychic powers work, so
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure
We're
it out.
all gonna learn together.
Does it
Yeah.
cause or conviction tests?
what's up?
Does it cause fear or conviction tests?
It's a pretty simple. It's like suggestion but weaker.
I'll
Like
be right back, guys.
Do you know what
example
page
commands
it's on?
what's that?
Do you know what
It's
page
on 268.
All right, let's take a look here. So you're telling him like let us pass?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it has to do a willpower test.
And the DN is 5. Is that what that compel is saying?
I think it's 4 in my book.
Is this a fear or conviction test?
No.
Oh, okay.
So it has some potency stuff on it, but I don't know how that works.
DN, okay, I'm seeing the DN on the top of compel, but yeah, it says the target creature must successfully pass a DN4 willpower test, or is compelled to obey.
I'm gonna look up the potency thing real quick.
Good thing I brought my kill team with me.
Oh, okay. So you have to declare it. So you're declaring
Yeah.
the compel. And okay, the power level's on the next page. So let's see that. That's probably going to juice it up. Okay, so you can compel it as bound, which is 0 extra die. You can compel it as unbound, which is +1. You only make unbound or transcendent for the rest of the scene. Okay. Or you can do transcendent, which is +2 or more. You suffer shock damage equal to the amount of wrath dice in the dice pool.
Who suffers the shock damage?
You.
Oh, I suffer it?
Yeah, it's like you're like juicing it so
These
much.
guys?
Yeah, I don't want to overjuice it.
Does it look like you have to spend wrath die? Well, like, I'm so confused as to what the power level effects.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just
Yeah.
going by like the 259 using psychic powers.
Yeah, is there like spell slots or something?
Usually it's part of your talents. Like, I know for me, it's my faith. I don't know if you have something like that.
Yeah, there's psychic talents. I'm still trying to work all that out.
Okay. Oh, I got it. So, in your dice pool, you especially, John, or you especially, you can choose to swap out a die as a wrath die when you make your psychic mastery test.
Okay.
So you could have multiple wrath dice. And every one that you roll, you suffer perils of the warp. So, you can like buff up the power, but there's more risk of like something bad happening.
Oh, if I want to raise the potency?
Yeah, exactly.
So like if I want to go unbounded, which was +1.
You'd have 2 wrath dice. So you get a bonus die to your roll. Wait, hold on. Or
I think it just swaps it out. No, you're right. It does just add it to the roll.
But he's not making a roll, though. You
roll?
are, though. So how does that?
No. So to cast a psychic power, you have to roll a psychic mastery test.
Okay. Well, that's if I'm following this right, there's no way I'm gonna fail that.
Okay, I understand now, I think.
101. Yes. So my willpower is 6, and my psychic mastery is 4. Does that mean I have 10 as a psychic mastery?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have that many die.
Number that you'll have to hit is 5 under the compel part.
Okay.
And then I get 2 wrath die for that.
If you want to do the unbound, you'd have 11 die instead of 10, and 2 of them.
Okay.
2 of them would be wrath
die. Okay. Let me get some extra die because I don't have enough here on the table. You get a D6 and you get a D6. Just get a bunch out. This is all a D6 game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that might get me there. So 11 total and 2 are wrath.
Let me look up one part here. Oh, okay. The potency actually gets juiced from shifting exalted icons.
Oh, so if you get any, any 6s, then you can shift them to gain that potency. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the unbound and transcendent are just if you want more dice to increase your chances of success.
But it only happens if my wrath die rolls good, right?
Only the bad thing happens if your wrath die rolls bad. There's no good thing from the wrath die.
So it's
besides
still 10,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It's
10
not
with
11?
one wrath die.
Yeah, 10
Okay.
with one of those being a wrath die. Yeah.
Okay. That's quite a bunch. You just want the total?
Yeah, give me. Well, go ahead and count. Like, say how many icons you have, how many exalted icons, and then what your wrath die is.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Icons are 5, right?
Any
4, 5, and 6.
4,
So
5, and 6?
Yeah. So how many 4s and 5s do you have?
I have 3 4s and 5s.
Okay, cool. And then how many 6s do you have?
I have 1 6.
Okay, so that meets the difficulty number. And then is your
Okay.
wrath die the 6?
No.
And is it a 1?
No.
Okay, cool. So you successfully cast it.
Okay, cool.
Now he takes a willpower test.
Okay.
Bonuses. Oh, that's just the bleeding condition. He does fail his
Sweet.
willpower test. Oh, and you said you got. Oh, you can't shift because you just met it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is it. We successfully cast our first psychic
thank
spell.
God, John.
That only took 20 minutes.
Thank you, because we were about ready to get smoked.
As I'm still filling out all my psychic abilities.
We were about to get smoked, so hopefully this works and we're allowed in before he changes his mind.
I look at John's character with utter disgust on my face.
I look at him back and I just, what?
Yeah, so you basically tell him to like let you guys pass, right? Yeah, so he steps aside, and the Skitarists like go back to being flat instead of like circling you guys. And you think you can go in now.
Okay. The shrug off was my objective. Dismiss the potential extent of psychic powers as being rumor or propaganda.
So yeah, I take is it Vizin? Is that yours, Jesse? Yeah, I take
Bison?
yeah, I take
Zyvin?
Zyvin. I take Zyvin by the shoulder and kind of push him forward and kind of give him the look of like, not another word, we're in, let's go.
Don't lesser, and I move forward.
Is there
This is
PvP
awesome.
on this? No, I'm just kidding.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys go in, and you notice the building is kind of like these stone chambers, and there's all of these jars everywhere, kind of in that like pedestal lighting where it's like just the light right over it shining down, and these jars house things like brains floating where like half of them have been replaced with mechanical parts. You see a skeleton that has like these blades that retract into the arms, but the skeleton has been like gilded.
This is so Cyberpunk 2077. This is like so cool.
And you notice also as you go around that there are like just like blood stains on the floor, and bullet holes in some of the walls. None of the jars that you see are damaged, or if they were damaged, they've been repaired. But the environmental damage is all still there. And you see like various servitors like moving around, performing like basically dusting all of the jars, but they're not doing anything to clean up that mess. And you see like Skitari like kneeling at various relics, not just Skitari, but Mechanicus. You can identify them by like their red robes, kneeling and praying at some of the relics.
Would it make sense for me to do a little prayer? This is all holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, the Omnissiah is the God Emperor by another
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, I'll do a little prayer while we're here, silently to myself. Kneel, prayer. Relic at random.
Was that an objective?
I don't know. Where do I find those?
I'm not sure about on the site.
Like just like a list of 6 things, right?
Yeah, so you just roll it at the
Yeah.
beginning. So you can just go ahead and roll it now.
There's a lot of churchy stuff, but that doesn't look like it's one of them. Yeah, I'll pray to have no, I don't know. No, it doesn't really work.
Okay.
It doesn't really work. Sorry, it's close.
You said there's like blood and stuff on the floor and walls and stuff, or just bullet holes?
Both. Like obvious
blood,
signs
like-
that there was a battle here, but it hasn't been cleaned up. Even though from the Fabricator General that the attack occurred 3 days ago.
Does it look like this stuff is from 3 days ago, or is it more recent?
It definitely looks from like 3 days ago. Like like the blood has like started to like separate. Right, that's a thing that occurs. I don't think bullet holes age, but yeah.
Okay.
And also you see, as you guys like make your way further and further in, sometimes you'll see like a body bag, kind of like zipped up and like off to the side.
That was my reaction.
Do we know
Why wouldn't they
whereabouts
clean
in
it?
here? Because this is glory all over the place, and those guys outside don't know what happened in here. I mean, obviously, they didn't even know a stasis coffin was in here.
I guess, should we follow the trail of bullet holes and blood to the source and see it? Or do you want to start looking at dead bodies, or what do you want to do?
No, I mean I'd say follow the carnage.
Yeah, see where it leads.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you guys, you kind of head like deeper into the temple. You get to the back room, and it's just more and more relics. And you start to see staircases descending down. And as you continue, you might not see like any signs of battle in one chamber, but as you continue, you'll surely find more and more as you go. And it's just more and more relics with more praying.
Julian, I've got an out of character question. Would we have been allowed in if we just walked in? Okay.
No.
I was going to say, like, it seems open to everybody. Like, we went through all that. We could have just, like, walked through the door and said, we're here to pray.
Are the people that are there like praying and stuff? Do they seem to care at all about the carnage of the battles?
No, and you've seen a couple of people who are like kneeling and praying that are like in blood, and they haven't like made any effort to like.
They don't
Not dry.
Sick.
I mean it's dry, but it's like still like they didn't even like cover it up. The only thing that you've seen that indicates that there was any cleanup at all is, like I said, every now and again you'll see a body in a body bag.
Well,
like it was in the way, so they just kind of pushed it over there.
Keeping it for recycling too, but I'll stop at one of the body bags and unzip it. Is it a Adeptus Mechanicus, or is it a gang member?
So what you find are charred remains with what look like ruptures along the nervous system of the entire body. It is mostly flesh, although you do see some augments on the body. You have Josh, you have the Mechanicus keyword, right? Make a scholar or a tech test, whichever one
my scholar is
you're better at.
Shite. Oh hell yeah. Let's see. One, two.
Oh, I did it. I did it in the wrong order. Sorry. Does anyone want to make a Medicaid test
Okay.
first?
I'm keeping this roll because it is baller. I can do. Yeah.
Sure, I'll do.
No. No, I do not.
I can do
I'll
one.
do one. 6 on my wrath.
Sweet. Sounds like Jesse was already
did that.
What's the total that you got?
1.
That was your only success?
I only had 1.
A 6 is
You
2.
only had one. Does anybody else want to make a? Does anybody want to help him when they make a Medicaid test?
I have 3.
Josh, you have a
Yeah,
decent
I-
Medicaid.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
a 5 in
Help
Medicaid,
mechanic.
so should I?
So the help mechanic, you describe how you're helping him, and then he will add your dice to his dice
Okay.
pool. Just the ranks that you have.
Okay.
Just-
So yeah, so I've got a rating of 2 in Medicaid. So I would unzip the body bag and I'm pulling like the fleshy bits, around and like pointing out what the augments are and how they interact with the body. Maybe would that help?
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll 2 more dice, Jesse.
Sweet. 2 and a 3.
So 2 successes.
Grab a number of dice equal to the attribute or skill rating you are using to help. Okay, yeah. So I think it's just the rating,
That
not
would make sense. Yeah, 2 more die. Yeah.
okay. And then let me just verify that like getting a 6 isn't like an auto pass.
Can I use a wrath to reroll my failures?
Yeah.
But you don't have. Oh,
Yeah.
you do have failures now.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yes, you can do that.
So roll 2 more.
Sweet. I got a 5 and a 3.
So 3 successes total.
Yes, your 6
So that's
counts
3
as 2.
successes now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you need to determine that many of them were killed by massive absorption of bioelectricity from their bodies. And then it sounds like Josh's tech roll was really well. So how did that go?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 icons, and my wrath die was a 6.
Sweet. So you guys have 3 glory right now.
And then how many successes
Glory.
were needed?
Nice.
You need
Okay,
4.
So I've got 2 successes that I can bank, right? Can I use 1 to get more information? Is that an option? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah, so you can shift it to like the
yeah,
higher
and
quality.
Then I have an extra success. What else can I do with extra exalted or whatever?
Yeah, so you could shift for glory, so you can shift to
I'll
add
just do
another
that. I
glory
think
point.
that's easiest. We'll just add another glory. So we have 2 glory now.
Okay. You guys have 4 glory.
Snap.
Oh, glory.
Yeah, so Josh, you know that the electroleech staves of the Fulbright Electropolice operate on a similar principle. Perhaps a visit to Balaxia's Fulbright Temple could be
Fulbright?
revealing. Fulgurite. Yeah, I'll post it in the
Okay.
Discord chat.
And I'll explain that. It looks like this is an electro leak. The Fulbright Temple might give us more information, but I guess let's continue.
Where to, though, how these guys were killed?
But I think do we want to go back to the origin and see if we can find where the coffin?
Well, yeah, we want to see where the coffin was.
Okay, yeah, I'm just looking. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you proceed down, and you're not sure how many levels down you've gone at this point, but it's been quite a lot. You've definitely been here for at least an hour, just continually descending, and finally you reach a chamber with all of these like tubes leading up to what should be like a rectangular emptiness, and even there are still like some mechanicus doing like repairs on the tubes, and throughout the whole place you guys have seen guards continually. Yeah. Oh, and here there is a large amount of blood and bullet damage. That's what they're repairing on the tubes.
You ask your boy and see how this happened.
You talking to me?
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, I'll turn to one of the what are they called? Servitors.
Servitors?
Yeah.
Servitor.
I'll turn to one of the servitors and I'll try to communicate with it and see if it'll respond. I'll ask if they saw what happened. Like very terse, like not like nice at all. Just be like, you servitor, did you see what happened here? Report as to what
Yeah,
happened.
the servitor ignores you and just continues its task, which is picking up like the scrap metal that's left from the repairs that are done.
Apparently, he did not hear
Doesn't
you.
God.
What?
He probably has no,
No, I didn't do that.
auditory sensors. Priest.
No, he's probably just doing his
Yeah,
job.
you know that these things are like basically like one task is programmed into them at creation, and there are like more advanced servitors that can receive altered instructions, but a lot of these are just like you make them for a task, and if that task doesn't need doing anymore, you throw them away.
Is there a way I can hack it and look at their video feed for the last? Well, it's probably 3 days. It's probably long gone, I would guess. But
Yeah, you could try it.
sure, why not? I'm doing all the rolls tonight, guys.
It's definitely worth looking into. Like you're kind of digging.
No,
I'm
well, he's
so
doing that.
tired, man. I'm having a struggle.
I want to look at like the bullet holes in the wall and see if I can tell like
Yeah.
what gun made it. Like
Yeah.
if it was from the
What kind of ammo is it? Maybe you can figure out like what
yeah, like
Something
kind
went
of
down
groups
here, right?
use that particular type of weaponry.
yeah, like see if they're all from one type of weapon, like whoever the guards were, or if they're from a different type of weapon that like whoever came in and stole it was. Maybe we could figure something out from that. I don't fucking know.
I would say use your investigation unless you can give me a compelling reason to use your ballistic skill.
I mean, I do guns. That's why I would use my ballistic skill.
Okay, I would say use your intellect plus your ballistic skill, like your rating in ballistic skill.
Okay, so my rating in ballistic skill, just the value is 3.
Mm-hmm. So 3 plus whatever your intellect is.
Okay, which should be 4.
So I've got my hack
'Cause
skill real quick.
I'm not super smart.
Six icons, but I got a 1 on my wrath die.
What? Okay, cool. We'll get to that.
Okay, I got 4 icons.
Sweet. Yeah, so you can definitely tell that there are like really large chunks that are ripped out, and you know that a common weapon is called a bolter, and what it essentially is like it fires a bullet that then ignites like a rocket fuse behind it and like propels it even faster. And the rounds are massive. The rounds are like this big. It's like completely comical. Typically, if it were like a full bolt rifle with the large rounds, only Adeptus Sororitas, only something in power armor would be able to shoot it. But you think this could also be from a bolt pistol, which strong humans are able to wield without power.
Okay.
Uh,
Is that something that like the guards here use, or is that not something they would use, or would I know that at all?
The Skitari, I would say, since you say you're super into guns.
Yeah, my whole thing is guns. It, I shoot guns. That's my thing.
Isn't there a lack of ammunition at this place too?
You do know that it's really hard to get ammunition. The Skitari are wielding arc rifles and plasma weapons.
So this was definitely done by.
Okay,
whoever.
so that wouldn't leave bullet holes like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, Josh. Yeah, so you had 8 bajillion successes and a critical failure. So like servitors are really basic, especially ones like this that are programmed for really menial tasks. This one is one of those like rewritable servitors, but so there's not like a lot of like there's no security or anything built into it because people just like jack in and tell it to do something. So you're able to take a look. This thing has only been on site for less than 72 hours. But as you do that, you suffer like a static shock, basically. You don't get the voltages quite right when you jack into it. So I would say that you get +1 difficulty for any tech tests for the rest of the scene.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
+1 difficulty for tech test. Okay.
Yeah, just for the rest of the scene. When we move to a new scene, it'll
All
go
right,
away.
next scene, guys. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay.
So I'm trying to think what like use we can make of the information of the bullet holes and shit.
Well, we can definitely tell later on if we've run into somebody with a bolt rifle or a bolt pistol.
Right. So like they think this was stolen by like some gangs or some weird shit.
So
gangs.
another thing.
Would we know if any use specific weapons? Or is it all just like whatever they can get their hands on?
Yeah, I mean, gangers tend to have really poor weaponry, but like a high up ganger, especially one who has acquired a lot of wealth through like stealing Mechanicus tech, could easily have a bolt pistol. They could have stolen a bolt pistol. You know, this manufactorum does produce arms.
What's
or not the manufactorum, the world.
What's the likelihood of a gang member having power armor? Slim, basically nothing, right?
Oh yeah, super
you have
slim
to
to none.
basically
Yeah,
have
yeah.
skin that interacts with it, right? Okay.
Not necessarily. You can have the downgraded one that the Sisters of Battle have that Zeshua has. And you don't need the special black carapace for that.
Was this a one-sided fight? Is it just people getting attacked, or does it look like it went back and forth?
I mean, you guys have only investigated the one body, and it was a Mechanicus body. But
was that the body that was ripped out at like the neural whatever?
So that body that was fried was a Mechanicus body. It wasn't a gang member body. Huh?
Yeah.
Can I ask one of the people who's sitting here and praying, like basically just not caring? Can I ask one of them, like, come down next to him and like begin to pray over them, and then lean down and like grab their hand and be like, what troubles your heart?
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like it's.
I think we just
Somebody
lost
dropped
Michael.
out.
Oh, there he is.
It's kind of like it needed to get like its context switched over because it doesn't respond for a minute to you.
Okay.
And then there's like a shift as it like sits up closer or sits up more and it responds I am praying to the holy relic of X72 their I don't know, like a good like augment name, like their
No.
holy augment.
Uh, um, can you ask them what happened here 3 days ago?
It like looks at you quizzically and is like, an augment cannot. It is not alive. It needs flesh.
Does it not hold memory?
Not without flesh. To do so would be abominable.
I agree, but maybe by chance. Just give it a try.
Perhaps you seek vid recordings. And he
Ah.
kind of like looks at Mark, kind of like, is this thing belong to you?
Yeah. I'll nod, kind of reluctantly, and give a sigh and say, yeah, the very good idea. We'll check the vid recordings, and I'll say, come, priest. Let's see if we can find the control center, or something like that.
Why do I have to be the only person here made of flesh doing your job? I stand up, turn around, and start walking off in a direction. Come, devotees!
Yeah, are there like video cameras down here, or?
Yeah, so the tech adept that you guys kind of roused from his prayer.
God Emperor is always watching.
Praise be the Messiah. He stands up and he's like, yes, happy to help, brothers guitarists. And then as he like is standing, he kind of like jerks, and then you hear error 0xa1217. And then he stays still for a while, and then he comes back, and he goes, brothers guitarist, will you join me in prayer to this holy relic?
And I'll say, once you.
Wait, did he just
once you
fucking like
reboot,
blue screen?
Yeah. Do I recognize the error? Like, can I do a quick Google search of 0xa1217?
Yeah, make your like damage tech roll. Or scholar, if it's not undamaged.
Scholar's absolute crap, so I'll do 6 die instead of 7, so. Or one difficulty level. Should I take 1 die away?
Yeah, it just ups the difficulty.
Yeah, no, just roll with your regular normal of dice.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so if it was a 3, now it's a 4 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
2, 3, 4. 4 icons.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you, so 3, yeah. So you know that this error is like a reference not found error.
So there's.
So it's like you tried to access something that wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be like, not now, my brother. More important tasks to attend to, and I'll kind of give him a pat on the shoulder, and then say, "There's no video evidence. We're not going to find it."
Yeah, and you think, given like how much she stressed discretion, that this evidence might have actually been deleted by Vakul, and not by any attacker.
Maybe she still has it then. Maybe she stole it and she wants you to find out.
I don't believe that she would do that. I have utter faith in her. She's the ruling body of this planet, and in turn myself. I have no doubt in her motives.
It looks like Michael
Yeah.
is having a lot of tech issues.
We should probably call it a night here shortly too. Maybe we'll finish up this area and then call it because it's almost 11.
I want to try and find a body of a scummy fuck.
Okay, so you just go around like unzipping body bags.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you keep looking. I mean, the remains are charred. They seem to all have been destroyed by that same weaponry. Occasionally, you'll find a like a giant crater blown out of them that you know is from like a bolter round, but they're also
I've got
burned.
a question:
But
did the fried happen after death or before, or was it the cause of death?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the electro leech stuff works. It's their own bioelectricity, but I mean, your brain still has electricity like right after you die.
Okay, I just
so
didn't know.
it could be either
So
or.
what my thought was did this electro leak happen after they were killed to kind of cover up evidence or something like that, or was this electro leak the cause of death? You know.
Yeah. I mean, you know also that like you're pretty hardy and you could survive a bolter round or two. So it may have been that they were injured and then dispatched.
Okay. But
Would we have any reason to believe that the warp was manipulated to cause the fire? Or is it all just like physical assault going on here? It's all weaponry and destruction rather than manipulating the warp.
Why don't you give me either a Medicae or a psychic mastery test?
Psychic mastery all day long, man.
Yeet.
10. Six. Okay. Lots and lots and lots. Okay. Two 4 5s and 4 6s, and one of them's the
One of them's
the
the
one.
wrath die.
Yeah, the wrath
Glory
die.
die.
Yeah.
So you guys get a glory for the wrath critical. And then you super succeed. Do you want to shift any of those?
Gosh. Yeah, let's.
So you can shift to like get an increased quality of answer. You could shift shift the rest to glory, or if you like have something special you want to do, you could also tell me, and we can decide if that could be done via shifting.
Okay. I'm
I
thinking just to play into my psychic character, like I kind of wander around the room and I'm looking over at, I can't remember his character's name, the guy that's opening body bags and looking at stuff, and I'm feeling disturbed a little more than usual, and I kind of shudder and freeze
Little
in place.
Simselman.
Yeah. How could you forget a name like that? And I'll do that with one of the shift die, and then two of the other shift die I'll put in glory,
Okay, cool.
and then
actually,
I
you can
don't
only
whatever
shift,
the wrath.
to glory once per test. But
Oh,
you guys,
okay.
doing that also puts you guys at max glory anyway.
Okay.
I have a question. The void, like,
We are just
I
the
know
most
we are
glorious.
Can you like?
Under, of course.
There is only one glory.
Um,
God.
would the void hold any like information like behind the veil that could be tapped into to gain like more information about what happened, Julian? I have no clue how the void works.
Yeah, so the warp,
Or the warp, yes.
it definitely could. But your character as like a guitarist wouldn't necessarily know.
I just didn't know if John could use that to as a like one of his.
That's kind of what I'm looking for, is
Yeah.
to see if there's any twisting of the warp here, if there was any manipulation of the warp to cause the damage that happened here.
So you get it feels like a hand made of ice grips your spine, and kind of like pulls you to look towards the center of the room, where the rectangular, presumably the stasis coffin would have been.
Okay. And she just kind of shivers and shakes off the icy feeling and just wanders over to the center. She doesn't really want to give away too much of her psychic powers. Like, you guys out of character know, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at the center, so you kind of just see like all of these connectors that they have like different connectors, and there's some slack in some of them, so it looks like there would have been this rectangular object here, and it would have been hooked up to a bunch of stuff.
so I see some techie stuff, and I
Yeah.
know that we have a guy on the team that has been interested in the techie stuff. So I just look over at him and say, "Come over here." Is it
just
Mark?
call me
Mark is your guy's name? Okay. I'm just like,
Marky Mark.
what do these do?
Can I ascertain what they do?
Yeah, I mean, you recognize that there's various uses. A few of them are like generic data feeds, like pulling, presumably pulling metrics off of the stasis coffin. Some of them are power conduits. Some of them are, yeah. I think that would be mostly it.
Okay. Like, does anything look out of place or abnormal?
Yeah, so definitely, like the connectors, some of them are damaged as though it was taken out in a hurry and not much care was given to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll point all that out, and I'll say this is a power connector, this is a data feed, this one was ripped out carelessly. It looks like when the coffin was removed. How big is this coffin? Is it human size? Is it Yoda size? Kid size? What's the?
Yeah, the hole that's left basically is like 10 foot by like 5 foot.
Big.
Yeah.
Wow.
What the average size of a coffin?
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe bigger.
Well, no, 10. You said 10 foot by 7 foot.
I was thinking like 10 by 5, but maybe like 14.
It's a bit
like
like a
Okay.
Yeah, 14 by 8
Pretty
would be
big.
like
Okay.
big.
Yeah.
That'd be like a
Well,
family
how-
coffin.
Like, do I know anything about these coffins? Do they have like maglev devices where it could be easily moved around, or would it have to be like forcefully carried? Like,
The only info that you have about these coffins are that they are so rare that the last reference that you remember hearing about is that the Primarch of the Ultramarines, one of the sons of the Emperor, was entombed in one when his injuries were great.
Is there any drag marks?
No drag marks.
Is there any drag
this is
marks
like-
through the warp? I mean, obviously powerful people are being kept in these things and sustaining their life. There's got to be some protection from the warp.
Yeah, you don't see like or you don't feel anything as though there were like a warp rift that had opened
Yeah.
here. But there definitely was something warp touched near where you're standing now.
Okay.
A warp rift, powerful enough to take something like this big, definitely would have left signatures that you don't see.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah. So with that, I think we could probably
Yeah.
call it a night. You guys have a lead on the Fulbright Temple.
We have we know we're looking out for a pistol, a bolter pistol.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys want to pick up from here, we definitely can. Michael also knows that there should be like some ganger activity in this area. You guys haven't quite seen anything yet.
Cool.
Sweet. Thanks.
I like it.
Was
Yeah, thanks, Julian.
fun.
That was fun.